Hey, Detective Potter, I wonder who ripped up these lung cells in a lung factory.
I don't know, man. I don't know, Detective Brian. But there's a lot of burn marks, slash marks. This worker, he got mauled.
Yes, he did, but we need to find out quickly, because if we don't, all cells are important to life. Right, Detective Potter?
Indeed, Detective.
Let's cut this thing open and get to work.
All right, Detective. Acid, tiny strands of DNA. Ooh, look at this. A little bit of meat.
Isn't protein found in meat?
Yeah, and DNA, nucleic acids. Well, our two suspects, after our research, our two suspects are proteins and nucleic acids. Protein, we believe, is one of our suspects because we found tiny bits of meat inside the wound. And there, after our research, there is, here in this protein section, proteins are normally found in meats. We also found nitrogen inside the body, and nitrogen is a part of proteins. And then our other suspect is nucleic acid.
Our second suspect. Nucleic acids aren't found in foods, but also don't need us, because we can make our own nucleic acids. So we are thinking that nucleic acids are not our suspect who tried to kill our victim, the lung cell. I think it was proteins, because protein was found inside the stab wound. Now, if we can find this out, we'll have our killer.
There's a potential possibility of nucleic acids because we found some phosphorus, but proteins are still the main suspect. Now, let's talk a little bit about about all the chemicals of life and go into the descriptions of these chemicals.
Yes, Detective Potter, I believe we should do that. Let's get through. Scene 5, the interrogation. Now, protein. What did you do the night of the lung cell killing?
I was at my house in Cell City, of course.
Where was your house in Cell City?
It's on Protein Street, where all the proteins live.
Do you agree to killing lung cell?
I have no idea what you mean.
You mean this knife that has your name engraved on it?
What?
Yeah. Now, talk or I punch you.
Okay, fine. I was there the night of the murder at 11:20, but the guy was killed at 12, right?
No,
When was he killed?
11:20.
Well, I witnessed it.
And
Why haven't you confirmed
why
it
haven't
yet?
you yes, why have not you confirmed it?
I didn't think the police needed it. I thought that you guys were like the experts.
We are, but we need clues. Now, were you to murder or I drop you off the ledge?
Okay, fine.
Were you the murder?
I helped.
Then, do you agree to go to a judicial sentence? Do you agree to a judicial sentence?
No. You're arrested for the murder of Lung Cell Bob.
You are under arrest.
Under arrest.
You have the right to
remain
remain silent.
You have the right to an attorney if you
Do
are
not,
able-
one will be provided for you.
If you're not able to afford one will be provided for you. You have the right to a jury of your peers. You have the right to remain silent. Let's go, Detective. I am Carbohydrate, and we are the jury in this case. Now, jury, tell us a little bit about chemicals, about the chemicals of life, the cells, the other chemicals, all that stuff. Well, water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen, and it's
And then the murder, no water or H2O was to be found.
no, not enough. I was not there during the murder. I didn't do anything. Don't ask me. Don't ask me, please. I'm lipid. No, I'm carbohydrate. I am made of carbon.
And you make sugars, and no sugars were found at the scene.
Nope. I'm made of carbon. I'm made of hydrogen. I'm made of oxygen. And I'm normally found in, I'm normally found in the cell wall. Oh, and water. Water has a stem. Water is normally found in vacuoles and cytoplasms. Okay, carbohydrates has a stem. Carbohydrates are normally found in vegetables and starches, and the organelles we are found in is the cell wall. I'm lipids, and I am made of the same thing as carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, and carbon, but I have more energy in me. I'm normally found in fatty foods like butter and nuts
Meat.
and not meat, and oils.
We do not know until further notice. Lipids is off duty.
Okay.
So we've got all of them.
Nucleic acid.
So now, may the prosecutor and the defendant stand. Please rise. I say, please rise. Thank you. You may now sit down. So, defendant, Bob, killer of protein. No, not protein. Long cell Bob. So, now, do you agree to the case of killing
No,
in the first degree murder?
I was not there at 11:20, and I have no idea what happened on that night.
How do you prove it?
Securities.
Do you have any witnesses?
Witnesses? Yes. Nucleic acids was there with me. Bring in, testify. Nucleic acids. I testify against. How about
Protein.
protein? Protein was there at 11:20, and he was found with a knife in his hand.
Now, prosecutor, you tell your side of the story.
Protein, as nucleic acid said, was found with a knife at the scene. We have evidence of tiny amounts of meat inside the wound. There's nitrogen inside the wound. We believe that the protein was taking over the lung cell from the inside as he was found. He was taking over the mitochondria of the cell, of the lung cell, and destroying the cell from the inside, and then eventually killed the cell with the knife that had nitrogen all over it. And it also had an acid that allowed the wound to immediately spread.
Enough. In the name of this court, I find protein guilty. You have the right to remain silent. Now, you will be sentenced a 45-year sentence in prison without parole.